Hello, I'm Chuck Rowe, and to my left is Pam Hartley. We're both members of the Paradise Citizens Alliance and will be conducting this interview. Welcome to our Paradise Citizens Alliance interviews of candidates running for local, nonpartisan, elective offices serving our greater Paradise community. These interviews are meant for you, the voters, to learn more about the candidates, their positions on the issues, and to encourage you to vote on November the 8th. By voting, you're exercising one of your greatest rights and privileges as a citizen in this democracy. All these interviews will be posted on our website at paradiseca.org for you, the voter, to access online and to view from October the 8th right up to the election on November the 8th. With that, I'd like to introduce Rich Gingery, Jr.,
Correct.
who is running for the Paradise Unified School District's Board of Trustees. Welcome, Rich.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
And with that, I'd like to lead off by asking you to tell us a little bit about your background.
I am a business owner in Magalia. I co-own Whispering Pines Pet Clinic with Dr. Nicholas Weber. I grew up out of the Bay Area, East Bay, and came to Chico State in 1989. And after being at Chico State for several years, fell in love with the community, fell in love with the area, and never left. Lucky enough to meet my wife, and she fell in love with the area, and so we decided to build both our careers here in Butte County.
Good, thank you.
Rich, why did you decide to run for school board?
The main reason I chose to run for the school board is I do have two children that are in the district. My son is in 4th grade, and my daughter's in what we call TK. I felt that by having a bigger presence in some of the decisions that could be made for the district, I would have a better opportunity to improve the education and help my children, get the right guidance and the right education they need. I'm also really big in the community, and I feel it's important to help, other children that are there. The district ends up being the opportunity for all children, to learn in. There are other avenues that we could choose as parents, and I love them, and I think they're great for our community, but the Paradise Unified School District is there to handle all the children, that we have in our district. And to have a better say and a better idea of how it's ran and where it's going was something I was very interested in doing.
Mm-hmm.
Rich, what do you see as the biggest challenges facing the Paradise Unified School District both now and in the future?
One of the largest challenges I think we're going to deal with is budget cuts. These cuts could be for various reasons, but the main cuts are probably coming from children that are no longer in the district, whether that be they moved, they went to a different form of education, be it a charter school, homeschool, or private school, and what we're going to be able to do when those budget cuts come and how we're going to handle that. Another big obstacle I see is where our children, and a lot of them, a good number of them, are living in disadvantaged homes. Many of them are free and reduced lunch. We should, as a district, kind of target those needs of those children and the obstacles that are in front of them in learning, and really try to find solutions to help gather them back at a higher learning level. And as I saw my child going into that junior high and high school level, I felt if I could jump in there now before my child reaches those, that hopefully we'd have good corrections and a good move forward into the future with that.
What changes, Rich, would you like to see implemented to improve the district and better prepare our students for the global economy?
I really do believe in the global economy. Some of the changes that I think are necessary is getting these children prepared for that. So technology is huge, and introducing these children to technology. Some of the others are what I'll think of more as like a hands-on skill, like a tech skill. So getting them prepared for the future jobs. One of my jokes is, just a few years ago, we never even imagined what these smartphones were going to do and all the industry that revolves around that. Our children can do this probably better than us, on the cell phones and on the magic web that's out there. So putting that back into our kids' hands at a very young age, I think is very important. Other changes I'd like to see is like mentorships, to help some of these children who may have not have had a parent that has a career or a job, but mentor them and show them that there are a lot of us in this community that have that. Your opportunities are here too. You just have to stick with good grades, keep yourself going, and when you get out, you can either get yourself a great job immediately, with a hands-on skill, or move on to a further education. But mentorship is a big part of that, and where we can get more people especially people in our own community that can bring that to them, it'll be more realistic to the child rather than bringing people from the Bay Area or Sacramento where we know they're already going. But globally, one of the things I think needs to happen is if we can get these schools, and Common Core is one of these angles, get these schools that what happens for my child here in California is also happening for that child across the United States. That if they were to pick up and move for better opportunities or for whatnot, that when they went over there, that they would be within a small time gap of getting the same education. So here at the district, we got to bring that in. I know they have, and there's what I'm going to call like an implementation dip, where it's just not really occurring for them. We need to get out to the public that that's happening, and we need to let them know that we're going to get over this dip, we're going to get over this curve, and all of a sudden our children are going to be on the same page as we are throughout this global economy. But the internet takes us there, and technology's taken us there. If we don't have that for our children right now, we're failing them, literally right here in Butte County.
Rich, an overwhelming majority of the district students currently are failing to meet state standards in grade level proficiency in English and math. What do you believe needs to be done specifically to turn around this situation for the better?
That's a really good question, because it is a problem that I see, and I see it, unfortunately, even on my son's campus. I'm at Cedarwood Elementary up there in Magalia, and again, I hate to harp on it, but I really do blame poverty and the situations that brings. And without us having a better understanding of what that does to a child and the blocks that it puts in front of these children learning, I think we're going to fail. So we do need to find some way to better understand that, have a better way of addressing that to bring them back into the fold, whether that be through counseling, whether that be through the district hiring the proper companies or agencies that can identify this and bring that in. Without targeting that, I really feel we're shortcutting a vast population. Now, I could be shooting from the hip, but I know in our district, I've read everything from 57% or higher of free and reduced lunch, in our district.
I think it's actually about 65.
Right.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't argue with you, because one of the scary parts is what I'm going to tell you, what I know of at Cedarwood campus, we're in the high 90s. So that starts to tell you how it's pervasive through our entire district. So without attacking that and without really looking into how we fix that, I think we're going to fail greatly. You could add all the best classes you want and bring in all the technology you want, but if you don't have that child's mind to come into this classroom and absorb that and take that, I think we're going to fail. Teachers can help with that, and I believe we are going to bring in the right teachers for our district to bring those. And then we're having new learning patterns that are out there that would be something that in my generation we weren't exposed to. But these new learning patterns, I think, will really take our children to the next level. But without asking these children, or in a sense encouraging them to come in as a community, to show up to school, to be a part of your friends and make it a big family, I think we'll really fail. And there's this big divide between, the ones getting by and the ones that have nothing. It's truly there, and I see it in my own community.
Rich, what's your assessment of the district's financial situation?
I have attended several meetings over the last 3 years. I'm one of the parents that I've asked several times, can you show me the numbers? Can you show me the numbers? And they haven't as been transparent as we would like. We're often told we can go online, we can find this information, and I've done that and I've tried, but it took me about 3 hours, honestly, to find something that should be click, pop, and right there. The last meeting I sat on, there was numbers that were brought that were alarming, and some major cuts are going to come. It's scary when you hear that this district could lose somewhere around $500,000+. That's devastating. So hearing these budgets and the issues we have, my mind just goes to, as a businessman, I had to get through the recession. I had to figure out ways around that. How are we going to do that? And then we have to play with the budget we have. We have to literally use what's in front of us to the best we possibly can, and maybe, luckily, find other revenue sources. Maybe find, by more community outreach, by reaching out to the people that surround us, we may find some other avenues to kind of help with that. But knowing what we got, knowing what's right in front of us, that's what we get to feed from, and unfortunately, that's what we have to deal with. And trust me, when I heard the budget cuts, my first thought was, whoa, what did I sign up for? But this is my and your children's futures, and our community's children's futures. We can't have people just quit on that. We can't have people go, oh, that's so overwhelming, I'm just going to stop. We need to have people brave enough, to go in there and say, I want to be transparent with my community. I want to show you what I'm dealing with. This is what I have at my table. And what say you? What would you do to, get us through this and out of this?
What is your position with regards to free choice or free school choice for parents in our community?
Oh, it's a must. I feel that's American. I mean, I really do. I feel it's. I've already been addressed by a couple of people in the community that you're anti-charter. I am not. I am not anti-public school either. We have choices, and oftentimes when these choices are available to us, we can go out and do it. So my example is I went out to try to get my child into charter school. It didn't happen. It's a lottery. So now I have choices of taking my child to a private school. Well, what if you cannot afford that? Or what if getting your child to that private school is just really taxing on your life? I'm back at the public school. So choice is there. It should be there. I have several friends that are in charter. I have numerous clients of mine that are in homeschool. I know this because their child comes to the exam. So I love to engage their children and ask them questions. That's why they're there. So this choice is perfect as far as I'm concerned, and an American dream. We should not be pigeonholed or told, you have to do it this way. We should have our opportunities. But what I want people to understand is that, let's say you are that family that's disfortunate, you don't have that money, you've tried to get your child into that private school, there's no funding. You've tried to get that charter and the kid into the charter school, you didn't get in because of the lottery. This is what you're left with. So there's also a vast amount of people in my own community in Magalia who have no thought of even going to a charter school because that's not their thought process. They don't think about even entertaining the idea or trying. And I've had other few parents even tell me, I can't because if I got into charter school, I don't even have the fuel to drive my child down there, to take them there. So let's say charter school lands up in Magalia. Well, great, now you have these opportunities, right there that you may be able to walk your child. So I just want the whole entire community to understand that public school is the big one that catches everybody. It's the big giant well net, that grabs everybody of all needs. And we need to have that be as best as it possibly can for all of them that are out there.
An application for a new charter high school by a chief charter school has been submitted to PUSD School Board. What's your position, if any, with regards to this proposed charter high school?
I was there when they proposed it. I would applaud it. I'm thrilled for them. I think it's another avenue that is a must in our community, and I'm really excited for them. I know that they're looking at trying to get, capture at least 100 students. They think that's about what their forum could handle, and I'm excited for them. Like I said, I have so many friends, people I break bread with, every day that are in charter schools. This is exciting. But the truth is that's 100 kids, in a district that has far more than 100 children. So we should also remember the kids that didn't get in and what their opportunities are, and better it. And I would like to see our district compete at that level. One of the jokes I've always said to the board is, why aren't our fries competing with their fries? Why aren't my goods and my wares competing very well with theirs? So what can we do to do that? Maybe it's a perception. Maybe it's just an idea parents have that charters are better. Well, we need to find a way to convince the families that are here in these public schools that you're getting a great opportunity too. It's there too. Because many people feel slated or gypped, when they didn't get into that charter school. But I'm thrilled for them. I was very excited. I was one of the ones that would have clapped as it went up there. I'm very thankful that they're making this happen and giving other opportunities for education.
Thank you.
Well, Rich, this is your opportunity to speak directly to the voters in that camera and tell them why they should support you on November the 8th for the Paradise Unified School District's Board of Trustees.
Thank you.
It's all yours.
The main reason that I want to run for the board is that there's going to be really tough decisions that are coming up in the future here. Our children are our community. I really feel that if we gather these children back as a community and give them chances to have careers, jobs, and a better education. It'll benefit your community overall. You'll see better citizens in our community. I have an intolerance for bad behavior, whether that bad behavior be by a student, a teacher, administrator, any citizen. You know, we should bring these children into our district, allow for the disfortunate to have their chances, and I would really like to see changes in our district that can create for the advancement. You know, bringing in programs like GATE for gifted and talented education so that our children who are truly gifted, who really have these talents, can, you know, even excel faster and higher. Tie into with the local colleges that we have with Butte College and Chico State nearby, and then have these children realize that with these colleges nearby, there's even bigger opportunities for you out there, such as, you know, the higher educations like Stanford, or shoot the moon and get into Harvard. But I would really, really stress that if you do not protect your district, if you do not help the district at hand, you are losing many, many children that are disfortunate and have parents who are not as wise as we are about what we should be doing with their education.
Rich, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate the
yeah.
opportunity.
Awesome to meet
for
you.
to
Yeah.
come.
Yeah,
Thanks
this is
for
all
coming.
very new to me.
You did very well.
Thank you.
so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate so much you coming today.
Awesome.